All right, man. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all infinite honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Howard Kwakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out here pushing this truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. All right. I'm going to get into this video on Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, and I'm going to liken it to in the beginning, you know what I mean, when we was in the garden, all right, when Adam and Eve was in the garden, and when Esau was in the garden, because contrary to popular belief, that was Esau in the garden, and we're gonna prove it through scriptures, all right? And they basically teamed up in the garden, and they've been teammates ever since. And that was in the beginning, and now we in the end. So we're going to funnel everything through the scriptures and show how there's nothing new under the sun, and show Eve and Esau's connection then, and show how it's still strong now, and it's probably stronger now than it was then, because Esau has actually set a woman over the house of Israel. But, key word, set them over 2/3 of Yasharallah. The house of David would never, ever acknowledge a woman sitting in an authority seat, man. And we're gonna get it through the scriptures. If you don't like the way I started this video off, man, click it off already, man. We about to get straight into the scriptures, man. Let's get it. Let's go back to the garden. Genesis 3 from the top. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord our power had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we fucking devil, man. We're gonna keep going. We ain't gonna let no devil stop this, man. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's put it on airplane mode. You heard me? All right. So let's keep going. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for your power doeth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. All right. Now that was Esau and Eve. All right, making their pact with one another. Eve doesn't want to be ruled over. She doesn't want to be the tail. She wants to be the head. So everything that Esau was telling her was just sounding good to her. And you also have to keep in mind that the Edomites that you see today are not as sharp as they was, you know what I mean, at this time period we talking about, because I'm about to go into Ezekiel 20. Let's just get it. We're gonna go into Ezekiel and see what Eve, Kamala, was dealing with. All right. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Talking about Esau, talking about the Edomites. All right. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day thou was created. So he was dripped out. Like Mr. T with all that jewelry on, Boosie like to wear all that jewelry, all them rappers with all that jewelry. He was clean as hell, and he looked good, and he was also a musician, and he was good at that. All right. So Eve was dealing with somebody that was just blinging and standing out. You know what I mean? And her eyes got very, very big. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. The Most High made Satan to do the things that Satan did and does. Thou was upon the holy mountain of Yahweh, which is Yasharallah. And how was he up on that mountain? All right, and the mountain representing the people, because he put us in a captivity. He has us where we at right now. He has his foot on our neck, and we are in the neck of the enemy. We're behind enemy lines. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. That's him getting access to the heavens. He got his international space station. He'll live by the dew of heaven. All right. Thou was perfect in thy ways from the day that thou was created till iniquity was found in thee. So Eve couldn't help herself, because she already had a grain of evil put in her already to wanting to be the head and not the tail. You know what I mean? It was all set up through the spirit, but she was in over her head. Now watch this. This was she was after she saw what she saw and she heard what she heard. This is what was being, you know what I mean? This is what was being done. All right, let's just say this what was being done. Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth was smoother than butter. So when he running it to her, man, he just reeling and baiting her in. And that's why the Bible says that a woman is supposed to be in the house, and her covering is her husband, man. She was away from Adam, you know what I mean? And he made his move because he could have told those same things to Adam, but it wouldn't have worked. And he knew that. All right. So it says his words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than all, yet were they drawn swords. War was in his heart then. All right. He knew that that was a special people that the Most High had set aside and made holy. And he didn't like that. And he still feels that way to this day. All right. Now this was in the Garden of Eden. You had Adam, you had Eve, you had the other trees, which were the other nations. You had Esau. Now let's just touch on this real quick to show nothing new is under the sun. And those were Edomites. All right. Canaanites were Edomites, man. This serpent were Edomites. And how do we know that? Because Adam, which we know was Yahweh Shai, he gave birth to Cain and Abel. All right. And Isaac, which we know was Yahweh Shai, he gave birth to Esau and Jacob. Now, when Adam gave birth to Cain and Abel, they didn't have a label on them. They wasn't called this group of people or this group of people. All right. Adam's offspring were called the sons of God. All right. Now fast forward to Isaac. The difference between Isaac's twins and um and um and Adam's twins was Isaac twins had a label. The Lord said the first one came out, his name is Esau. The second one that came out, his name is Jacob, and it was changed to Israel. So those names followed those two people after the birth coming from Isaac. You had the Israelites and the Edomites. But with Adam, you had Cain and Abel. All right. And Abel was killed, and Seth took ran with it, man. All right, he continued his line throughout the earth, just like Cain continued his line throughout the earth. And when that time period came upon Isaac, the Lord put a name on him, Esau and Jacob. All right, and how do we know that Edomite was Esau? Because when we just went to Ezekiel the 28th chapter, it explained. Matter of fact, let's go back to it real quick. Ezekiel the 28th chapter. Now let's go to 13. Let's go to 12. Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus. That's how we know that they're talking about Edomites. All right. Now I go to 13. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. So that's another topic for another day, but you do see that these are the same people. All right. Now let's go to Numbers 27 and 15. All right. And Moses spake unto the Lord, saying, let the Lord our power of the spirits of all flesh set a man over the congregation, all right, which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord be not as sheep which have no shepherd. So he said, let a man is always supposed to sit over Yasharallah. King David, Yahweh Shai, they always going to sit over Yasharallah, man. A man. It's off as hell to have a woman to sit over a kingdom. Even Esau, over here in Babylon anyway, He never let no woman sit on his throne, even though this is a queendom and it has a feminine vibe and spirit on it. Hell, Donald Trump never held a public office, but they was like, before we let Hillary sit over us, we'll let Donald take the wheel. All right. Why should a woman not never sit over Israel? 1 Timothy 2:12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to assert authority over the man, but to be in silence. Look, y'all, we about to go back to the garden. For Adam was formed. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. You hear that? She's the weaker vessel, and Eve knows that. So Eve was being very, very clever when he went to Eve to try to get at Adam, but that transgression still fell on who? Eve. Matter of fact, watch this. Sirach 25:24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Now let me go back to 1 Timothy 2:11. All right, now let's go down. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in his transgression. All right, and to sin is to break the law. So all death, all nations, it all comes back to Eve and being influenced by Esau. So Eve and Esau, they back in that seat, and that seat is bigger now, man. So you got to think of the things that's coming. You got Jacob's trouble coming. All right, you got the insurrection upon the men that love the Lord coming. You have hunger coming. You have all these things coming, and who's going to be sitting in a power seat? At least right here in Babylon, and Babylonians run the world. Let's just be honest. All right, they run the world right now. It's gonna have Sleepy Joe and Kamala at the steering wheel. You got Esau and Eve at the steering wheel, just like in the beginning. All right, and in the end, it's manifest. You see it. They actually set her on the side of him. All right. Let's bring y'all uh Ecclesiastes 7:28. Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not one. Hold on, let me see. I might need to go up. All right, let's just go to 27. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not. Lo, this only have I found, that our power have made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. All right. So the Most High is dealing with men. Understand that. He's dealing with men. He's dealing with righteous men. There are no righteous women walking the earth right now, man. There are no righteous women walking the earth right now. The things that's gonna let's go back. The thing that's gonna get a woman into the kingdom is what? She shall be saved. Hey, we're going back. Let's go to 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. How is she going to be saved in childbearing? Because the elect is leaving this place, and we're going to be beamed up, and this place is going to be nuked. When we come down, oh, even before we come down, you have the 144,000 and the one third, and the one third is majority women and children. We have to build the nation. So you will be saved so you can bear our children. You understand? I didn't say it. The Bible did. Get mad at the Lord, man. You're already mad at the Lord, though. So get madder. All right? Let's go to Sirach 25:19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. The Lord said all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. You have a woman sitting on side of a Edomite. You have an Israelite woman sitting on side of an Edomite, Sleepy Joe. And the Bible clearly says that through Kamala Harris, that's how death came into the world. That's how sin came into the world. And all wickedness is but little to her. And guess who her partner in crime is? Prayer of Azaria 1 through 9. 1 and 9. Who's her partner? And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of our power, to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world. So you have the two most wicked people that the Most High created, man, and they're together. They're set side by side. It's a lot of death coming into this place, man. It's a lot of death coming into this place. And the Lord has set the chess pieces up so beautifully, but you can't see it because you don't want to see it, or the Lord don't want you to see it, man. All right, let's keep it moving. Psalm 17 and 8. Watch this. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. All right. So when your enemies come in, they compass you, and compass means to circle you. So they're going to circle you before they take you down. All right. They're going to circle around you and they're going to take you down. Now watch this. Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. Now we bring this out all the time on the highways, how a woman compassing a man in this society. All right, monetarily, societal powers, earthly powers. When I say powers, but just the law is geared toward making the Israelite woman higher in a position than the man. But let's stick to this compass. She is actually in a seat and at a time period in history where she may give out the order to compass us the way that they did our great terrible King Yahushua. Watch this. Psalms 22 and 16. For dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierce my hands and feet. She may be the one to give out that order, man. Go get them. And Jeremiah tells you that it can happen. I mean, it will happen. All right. Keep that in mind. That Jeremiah twofold. Kamala sitting on that power seat right now, man. And she's gonna hate us. Why is she gonna hate us? Because we love the Lord. And we're not acknowledging the power that he gave her. And at the end of the day, she's still an Israelite woman, no matter how uppity or whatnot she tries to present herself as. At the end of the day, you are what your father is. And I looked her up. Her father came over from, I want to say, the Bahamas. Either the Bahamas or Jamaica. I think it was the Bahamas. Yeah, matter of fact, it was the Bahamas. She's Benjamin, man. She's a Benjamite. For the fire. So when she come down with that holy hell, she gonna come with it, man. Watch this. 2nd Ezra 16 and 48. The more will I be angry with them for their sin, saith the Lord. Like as a whore envieth a righteous, honest, and virtuous woman. Kamala is a whore, and she's going to envy the things that the elect look up on as holy and just, which is the Lord, which is this truth, man. She's going to hate us because we love the Lord. Now watch this. I'm going to drop down to verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen. sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Even if Joe Biden gives out the order, by her being the vice president, it's just like she did it too. She has to drink of the cup of judgment, man. It's gonna be something else. And Sleepy Joe don't have too many more years left, man. So she may be the last American president, man. Me speaking as a man, bro. Let's go to Matthew 24:9. And they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. It's coming from the Lord, man. And he may use Eve to do it. Who's to say? But we definitely know this. This is the Garden of Eden 2.0. You know, when I say the Garden of Eden, I'm talking about that pact that they have with one another. Just keep living and we're gonna see how this thing go, man. But I just had to do this video on Kamala, you know what I mean, and Eve, because through the spirit, you know what I mean, that was the thing that I had been thinking. I just had to put it in a video, man, and in an epistle. With that, I hope this message was edifying to somebody, and I want to give all infinite honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Howard Kwakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out there pushing this truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. Kwame Yasharala, ball, man. Until next time.